Mrs Nkem is a pharmacist and a pharmacology lecturer at UNN's College of Medicine. Yes, she is. She's a mother of 4 beautiful and awesome children, as you can see with her handsome husband by her side. She's also the baker and owner of Splendid Place Enugu and has taught many people how to bake nice and tasty cakes. I'm going to drop down her links of Instagram and Facebook down below. Yes, please go and follow her. Yes, and also she's also an event planner, a farmer, and also many more you can think of. Ms. Nkem is a youth evangelist and is passionate about young people. Why don't you stay and watch this video to the very end? Thank you very much.
I think it's Hollywood that made us have this idea of, you created on a particular day, the same day this guy was created in the other side of God's workshop, and 2 of you were supposed to be perfect match, and then you're thrown into the earth and given 25 years to find each other and then make the perfect match. No, there's no one for you. I'm sorry, but that's the answer to the question. There's no way to know the one for you. You decide the one you want to be for you. It's not that guys are allergic to crowd, or they don't like doings, or they don't like dancing, or they don't like smoke effects. The problem is paying for it. Be as protective of your spouse as you can. You're starting off that marriage. The wedding is not the marriage. It's a one-day ceremony. Yes, it sits with you for life, but you can always do a redo. Because too many people are online spewing trash. That's how the Men Has Come movement started in Nigeria here. That's how all the Nigerian women are useless movement started. You cannot kill somebody's son. He did not serve punishment because he came to marry you. So I agree that all of us in this life will not marry. Don't do the shock and awe therapy. No, it won't work out right. Your father will just stiffen up and put rules, and it will become a me against them kind of thing.
Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. Yes, you're back here with me, Dr. Ogo. Yes, I said before that I was having a special guest, and you can see my special guest here. Mrs. or pharmacist, always okay. Yes, she is a mother, a wife, a business enthusiast. She's a whole vibe. She was a lecturer when we were in 3rd year, and I've always admired her from the very onset. You guys all know when I started sharing the flyer, you will be like, blessing, you're breaking ground, though. So anyway, let me not waste much of your time. Today we're going to be talking about relationship. Are you having any challenges and everything, or you feel confused where you are? You don't know what to think or how you can handle some situation when it comes to relationship. So that's why this video is here for you. So I'm going to be asking her some questions, and if you were one of the people that sent me your questions, this video is for you. And also, if you didn't ask any question and you would love to hear and learn from this video, just please stay tuned, all right? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and comment. Thank you so much. All right, ma. Okay, the first question someone asked is, how do I handle infatuation and a crush on a girl?
Okay, good afternoon everybody. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. How do I handle infatuation and a crush on a girl? Okay, so crushes are normal. We are all human beings. So when you have a crush on someone, you like the person, you admire the person. Sometimes your thoughts are full of thoughts about the person, and that's purely natural. What you do with that crush now depends on you. So you may be thinking about someone, you may be admiring someone, but if you know that you don't have a future with that person, you're not of age to pursue a relationship with this person, there's no marriage in the works in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, then please put some distance between yourself and that person. Be practical about it. You can't be hanging around someone, spending all your time with someone, gradually building a bond with that person, and yet you know there is no future with this person. Please put some distance between yourself and the person. She may feel bad about it in the first instance, but I think as she grows older and as you grow older too, everyone will appreciate that you did the right thing. If it is really meant to be, it will happen again. Your paths will cross again when the time is right. But not now. No. Not when this crush and this infatuation is worrying you. You're worried about it. So for the fact that you're worried about it, you have no peace. It's not time.
Okay, so the second question is, how do you know the one for you? Like, how do I know the one for me? And why am I still single? Is it that there are no men outside there? Like, why is it so difficult to find someone to just ask me out?
Okay. So your village people will be a very simple answer to that. But yes, how do you know the one for you? I think it's Hollywood that made us have this idea of, you created on a particular day, the same day this guy was created in the other side of God's workshop, and two of you were supposed to be perfect match, and then you're thrown into the earth and given 25 years to find each other and then make the perfect match. No, there's no one for you. I'm sorry, but that's the answer to the question. There's no way to know the one for you. You decide the one you want to be for you. When you make that decision, then you work towards that person being for you. And when the person has become yours, you keep working to make sure that person remains yours. Love is not a feeling. It's not a noun. It doesn't fall on top of you. It's a verb. It's a doing word. I love you is a commitment to do something, to continue to do that thing while you are alive, while you're with me. So there's no one for you. Sorry. So the girl that asks, why am I still single? Alongside your village people, there may be many other reasons why you are single. Okay. Maybe you don't want to be double. I found out a lot of girls are really not interested. And because of it, they send out negative vibes. And yet, they are missing being in a relationship. Yet, they don't want to be, as in, choose a struggle. You can't be, or who are you? Don't talk to me. And still, you are asking, why am I still single? You're still single because you haven't put any thoughts into being double. If you want a relationship, you ask God for it, first of all. Second of all, you keep an open mind. And then you just wear a pleasant personality. That's all. It will happen. You don't have to stand at the gate of ShopRite to be found, or for somebody's son to find you one day. No. You just have to have in mind that it could be anybody. You could meet the person anywhere. And so you calm down and be pleasant. That's all. And it will click. It will just happen. That's why.
Okay, so the third question is, how should bills be split in a relationship? And how do you handle expectations around the wedding ceremony?
Finance. This is a guy that asked this question. I can bet my pinky toe. Okay, so yes, how should bills be split in a relationship? In a marriage, I want to refer to. I don't know who is splitting bills in a relationship, but I assume that we're talking about a marriage. And in a marriage, you split bills in a relationship just as you agree to split them. There are many formula, there are many permutations. In some marriages, there's one breadwinner. And so the other person is really a manager. She doesn't bring in anything, or he doesn't bring in anything. But it's okay by the couple, and they find out what other value that person is bringing aside finance. There are many women who are not working, but they are very valuable to their husbands because the husband is comfortable, confident that he's bringing in enough, and her being at home is useful to the family. I don't look down on sit-at-home moms. I've done it before, and it's not an easy job. But many other families in contemporary Nigeria now have 2 working parents, 2 working spouses. So there's a ratio of You take care of this while I take care of that, depending on everybody's abilities. You should be able to have something to save. You should be able to have something to do personal things with, and then you should be able to open up the rest and pick what you can handle in the family. Some people pay rent or school fees, while the other person does food and clothes and so on and so forth, home improvements. There are so many subheads. So you're going to have to sit down together and do some planning. Who does maintenance? Who does vehicle this or that? And then plan it so that the person ahead of time knows how much she's been asked or he's been asked to bring. And let it be consistent. And when anybody has an improved fortune, you decide how much more you want to save, because you should up your savings, up your investments once there's an increase in income. And then that person can also take on more responsibilities and reduce the strain on the person who hasn't had a lift. And that's how that person benefits from her spouses or his spouse's maybe increase in salary, right? Yeah. Now, what about the wedding? The wedding should be thoroughly discussed. While we don't accept on blowing all the cash we have on a wedding, everybody should get a decent ceremony that is close to their expectations. So we should be able to know, what do I want? What am I expecting? What's my estimated guest size? Now, I'm an events planner, so I know how much tension this can bring. So the guy is there wondering if he's going to foot all the bills, because that's really what it's about. It's not that guys are allergic to crowd, or they don't like doings, or they don't like dancing, or they don't like smoke effects. The problem is paying for it. So if you're going to say, I'm going to do this and this, which was the case in my own instance, I've always been an events person. I come from a family of party goers. My parents are party people. So there was no minimizing my wedding. So all I had to do was sit down and say, I can do this, I can do that, I can take care of this, I can take care of that. You don't have to worry about this other one and that other one. Can you do this, this, and this? And it's fair. It seems fair immediately. Because between the both of us, we would never have had a wedding of more than 200 people. But I was expecting 500, and we maxed 800 guests on that day. So, and it's not any fault of ours. So I had to make the people bringing the crowd pay. So go back to your folks. You can't be asking me for 400 cards, which is likely to bring two people each. And then you're not going to take care of anything. We are just starting out life, I beg. Mbok, what are you bringing? Who is paying for small chops? Or else they will chop only big chop. Be as protective of your spouse as you can. You're starting off that marriage. The wedding is not the marriage. It's a one-day ceremony. Yes, it sits with you for life, but you can always do a redo. I beg, do 5 years anniversary if you have blown by then. I'm waiting for my 15th. It's in February. I'm going to do doings. Yes, everything I couldn't do in 2007. I will do and add small on top. That kind of thing. You are not about to die. So there will always be times to party, to celebrate, to show off. As far as I was concerned, I was interested in how the place looked, how I and my girls looked, the whole bridal train, you know, and then stuff like my cake, which I made myself. Everything else I could really pass. So when my folks insisted on small chops, I said, fine, it costs so and so, pay. When my auntie called me and said, I hope the vehicles in the convoy are in the same colors as the color of the day, I said, beautiful, I'll find a car rental and I'll bill you. So everybody comes with their expectations and the funding for that expectation. You cannot kill somebody's son. He did not serve punishment because he came to marry you. So while I don't like people checking responsibility, I think everything should be brought to the table, discussed, and split amicably. While we are splitting it, you realize there are just some things you have to step down because it makes sense to step it down.
But like, I think this person is coming from a place of the girlfriend wants a wow wedding, and
fine,
he cannot even afford the money. Like,
so what is the girlfriend prepared to do to get a wow wedding? You can't just be wanting a wow wedding because you've been browsing Bella Naija since last week. That's silly. You have to have a plan for the wow wedding. So if his idea of a wow wedding is a 200-seater hall, but your wow wedding is a 500-seater hall with so and so DJ, so and so decor person, and this and that, and if it's not so and so, it just doesn't cut it for you, then you should be able to bring some things to the table. That's just my point. You just have to. In my own case, I paid peanuts for my venue. I used an outdoor field that charged me about 20 grand for maintenance for the people who were going to cut the place. That's all. And then we got the canopy seats, and it was a garden wedding. So I was able to save on this to be able to plow money into this. You just have to be reasonable. That's my point. Right after we put that your mega wow video on IG, by next Saturday, I bet you we will top it. No matter what you did in this Enugu, no matter. True. That your cake was 27 steps, mine was 12. Immediately after your wedding, the bigger one will come out. So be calming down.
Okay, so the fourth question is, someone said, I'm over 22 and I'm not interested in a relationship. In fact, love disgusts me. I'm a Christian too. Am I normal? Because it's very funny. And someone also said that I feel very scared when I hear about marriage due to what I've been hearing of all this divorce and the story that comes about it. Is there ever a way to be ready?
Okay, so someone is interested in marriage, but she's afraid, and the other person is not interested in marriage at all. You're over 22. Okay, that's fine, but it's not the end of the world for you. You might still change. I just want to be sure that it's not something in your past that is making you disgusted by love. It's odd to hear someone say love disgusts him or her. Love is such a beautiful thing. Why should it disgust anybody? But I know some people maybe have. And so because of that, even physical touch is extremely disgusting to them. All they remember is the creepiness that they felt when they were abused as young people or as children. Even little children are abused. And sometimes they don't get over it, even in adulthood, and they act in certain ways without realizing that it is those experiences that are affecting them. So I want to be sure that this is not the case here, because if it is, this person needs therapy. But if it is not, then it might also be the examples that you're seeing around you. I've seen a family where, because the marriage of the parents were so tumultuous, many of the children are not interested in marriage. Some of them have married and they have this, if you do PIM, I'm out tomorrow, I'm not in the mood for drama. So it's always a thing about background. Where are you coming from? So it may be time for you, since you said you're just about 22, it might be time for you to change mentors, to change environment, to draw closer to people who are having good marriages. I'm not about to sell marriage to you. I'm just interested in you making a rational decision. You should see the other side too. Calm, sweet marriages before deciding if this is a thing for you or not. I agree that all of us in this life will not marry. Yes, but I need to know that at 50, at 55, you will not absolutely regret the decision that you're taking now. By then, you'll be sure that you had explored this and still decided it wasn't the thing for you. That's fine. On the other hand, the person who says she's scared, I feel pity for you, like I feel pity for a lot of young people. Because nowadays, the negative voices have the loudest microphones. That's just the reason why I accept to do things like this broadcast. Because too many people are online spewing trash. That's how the Men Are Scum movement started in Nigeria here. That's how all the Nigerian women are useless movement started. And before you know what's happening, people who were previously open-minded and sweet about a relationship suddenly are stiff, bitter. They've not even had any experience. They're just reading online and deciding, nobody will do this rubbish to me. Nobody. So born of man, born of woman. I beg, be calming down. There are still people who are doing well. There are still marriages that have succeeded. There are still couples who are working together as a team. And all you need to do is put your ears to the ground and hear more from such people. Now, we always say that faith comes by hearing, and by hearing the word of God. Fear also comes by hearing, and by hearing the word of the devil. So once you start feeling very afraid, check who you've been listening to and switch up immediately. And before you know what's happening, you see that faith is building, that trust, that belief in love again, in marriage, in the beautiful institution of marriage, that you're building it again. You also ask, how can you ever be ready for marriage? I always tell people jokingly that once you're 21 and you can feed 2 people and fuel a gen, then you're ready for marriage.
Wow.
Actually, it will take a little more than that, but not much more. Not much more. Not much more. Because today, everybody wants to have everything set before the venture ends. And it's a huge problem. Because of that, more people are marrying later and later, putting off marriage until later and later and later. And it's not advisable. Because I know, I've lived it, I know that everything good will finally come. And I still believe that the younger you are, the better. So I encourage people to reduce those your benchmarks. Not that you will go into a relationship that has no future. The point is to concentrate on the person's character. That determines potential. Not to decide on what the person has already achieved then. As of the time we were married, I was an intern and my husband was just passing out as a copper. Today we've become so much more. We've been able to do so much more. At that point in time, we couldn't have envisaged if this person was going to get a 2nd degree, if this person was going to be interested in a 3rd, if this person was interested in residency, or if he was going to pursue politics, or if he was going straight to do general practice. We didn't have everything written out. All I knew was that this guy made me laugh. This guy was true to his word. And and he must have thought some other very nice things about me. And that's all. And we just decided, okay, we'll wing it. Do you want me in your life for the rest of your life? I do. Are you ready to be in my own life for the rest of my life? Fine. Accepting to marry someone is basically accepting that person to be a permanent audience for you for the rest of your life. Everything else will fall in place. Everything else. So please, let's not put the cart before the horse. Get the person right, the choice of the human being right. And then together with him, plot the rest of the graph.
Okay, so the 5th question. Someone said, how do you handle issues at tribe? Issues of tribe and states of an intended spouse with your family?
Okay, so many parents have expectations of where they would like you to marry from. And it is their prerogative, their right. But you also have a right to decide the person you want to marry. I always like people making informed decisions. So if you are Igbo and you're exploring or you're open to marrying an Hausa man, a Fulani, a Yoruba man, and so on and so forth, I think you should start early to discuss it with your parents, to sound them out. Don't do the shock and awe therapy. No, it won't work out right. Your father will just stiffen up and put rules, and it will become a me against them kind of thing. Not right. I'll share my own experience. I wasn't marrying from another tribe, but I'm from Ohafia in Abia State. If any of you know Ohafia people, you would know that they never marry outside Ohafia. It's bad enough that you're marrying outside Ohafia. The first daughter never marries outside Ohafia. They boast with it. So I was a first daughter, and I was having suitors from all over the place, all of them from Ohafia, except one guy who I really loved. And he was the only one who was not from Ohafia. And so how was I going to explain to my folks? And you know, they kept wondering why I was putting off everybody. And my mom was campaigning for some of them. And you know, the rest were reaching out to aunties, reaching out to uncles, and so on and so forth. Some of them were going straight to meet my daddy by themselves. And everybody was just wondering what was Nkemjika's problem. but I liked someone else, and he was not from Ohafia. So after thinking deeply about exactly what I was going to do about it, we evolved a strategy, and he began visiting me at home rather than in the hostel. And I would just say, one of my friends is coming around. If he comes, please call me. I'm in the study. And he'll come in, and he wouldn't even ask them to call me. He would say hello to my parents and sit with my dad and start watching football and commenting on the football before now asking if I was around and sending for me to be called. And sometimes he would come into town when he knew I was not around. And they would say, Kemi is not around. Say, I know, I do. I just wanted to see how you people were doing. So gradually he started crawling under my parents' skin. By the time ND announced that he wanted to marry me, my father was stuck. He liked the guy. So the Ohafia was beginning to diminish in priority. I don't know, this strategy may not always work with everybody, but that was what we did. And at that point of marriage, all he had to do was sit down with them and say, I'm aware about how you feel. I have done my research. I know about how Ohafia people act. I just want to promise you that this your first daughter, you will never look for her. If you ever need her for anything, she will be there. I will release her freely. And he has kept his word, largely. If there's ever anything I was supposed to step up and do as a first daughter, or traditionally, or in the village, he will say, go. Sometimes he would accompany me. So it's not like they're stealing you to run away. You must remember that. I know how sweet it is. I'm a parent right now, and I have only one daughter. And if I could do anything for her to marry across the road, so when I come back for Christmas, I can go to her house, eat, go over to her house. Her children will stay in my house till it's time for them to bath in the night. Then they'll go back to their own house. You know, all those kind of dreams. Those are just basically the kind of things your parents want when they say hang around. In other instances, they have critical reasons. Marriages that have crashed, maybe serially, people from so and so place don't know how to marry wives. They are worried. Why are you so confident? Why are you going? This person married this your auntie, it didn't end well. This same place, they came and married this other guy, a girl from here. Listen to them. Don't be in a hurry to say that's rubbish, that's old school. Please, in this 21st century, some people are still marrying wives badly. Listen to what they are saying first. My husband talks to me about how his daddy listed 2 or 3 towns that he should not even try to tell him that he wants to marry from there. You know, I kept shouting, that's prejudice, you know. I never sat with my father-in-law to ask, what did so and so women do to you? What did women from here do to you? After all, when he was about to marry me, a lot of people came to his father to say, don't try it, don't allow it. Ohafia people will steal your children. They used to give children inheritance from their mother's side. They will give all your children plot of land. All of it is true, very true. I keep reminding them so that if they do shake him, they know that I'm going, and where I'm going back to, all my sons will have plot of land. But that wasn't the point. The point is the person you're marrying. So, but they really needed to rest their hearts that it was a responsible family, that I was interested in coming out, and so on and so forth. And after that, it's been fun all the way. I have a younger sister who is also married to an Akwa Ibom man. We are 4 girls. 2 of us are married in Ohafia, and 2 not only married outside Ohafia. 1 went as far as Oron. But they are fine. My parents are fine. At the end of the day, so many of, even the ones married from Ohafia, they are the ones living in Canada and in Watford and so on and so forth. They are not close by. They are not as useful to my folks as the ones that married out of town. So I'm not in a hurry to say, don't marry out of, even though I don't agree with anybody marrying out of disobedience or rebellion, I keep saying, pray about it. The same Father you pray to is the same God that your parents pray to. He can talk to them. He can solve any notch, any tied up knot for you. But listen, think deeply about it, and find a strategy to get them on your side. Please don't just start this combative thing. Don't go out in marriage in a fight.
Okay, so the 6th question is there any sense in marrying someone that is older than you?
Okay, I'm guessing a guy asked this question because many women marry men who are older than them. So we are used to marrying those who are older than us. But for men, they are not used to marrying ladies who are older than them. But is there any sense? Yes, there is a sense. You may find someone and you people are very good together. I don't think that something as insignificant as numbers on your certificate should be the reason why you're not together. If at all, for any reason that woman disrespects you, she's not the one for you. But if in a husband and wife relationship, the husband is the husband and the wife is the wife, that there's 2 or 3 years gap and that the woman is older is not a point. It's not an issue. That information is not even for the public. It's just you. Exactly. I even know a couple that the woman is older than the man, and yet even his own parents never knew. Because she was, small statured and all that, she was able to get away with it. They never told lies, but it was just not important. It never came up to ask how old is she. So it wasn't a problem, and the marriage is fine. The woman knows he's the husband, the man knows she's the wife. But if you know you're going to marry someone who you are older than, and not let him breathe about this, don't you know I'm older than you, then you're just better off left alone, please. So as a guy, if you're also going to marry a woman and just keep whining about how she's not respecting you just because she's older, I beg, day or day. Yes, because a lot of women will do their best, do their utmost, but the guy just can't get it out of his head that you are older than him. And every small thing, he misunderstands every step you make. It sounds as if you're disrespecting him because you're older. Then I beg, he should take a walk and go and look for a pikin that he will be sure is worshiping him and adoring him.